Okay, so check this out. Back in 2018, I was the lightest I had ever been. I was the fittest I had ever been, and I won the Climb to Kaiser. I had had the perfect race. It was the performance of my life. I actually got on GCN.
However, the climb to Big Creek, which climbs 2,500 feet in just 4 miles, was too much for Graham and Booth, leaving Tyler Pierce alone in front. And it was a lonely day in the end for Pierce, who rode the last 90 miles on his own, completing the course in 8 hours and 42 minutes.
Now, this was back when I was really trying to be a road racer, which meant I was trying to be as skinny as possible. And yes, I was fast on this very climby race. But can I match my time now 6 years later? Way more fitness, better bike equipment, better mental state, but 30 pounds heavier. So in this video, I'm going to try to attempt to beat Skinny Me's time. Is it even possible? 30 pounds heavier, 155 miles, 16,000 feet of climbing, 110 degrees. So let's get into it. This is the time I tried to beat the performance of my lifetime at 30 pounds heavier. So waking up super early, you can see the temperature is going to be 107 as the high. It's going to be a doozy. So let's look at this this map. So we're going to start with a lead out. Then that gets us into WILDCAT. That's the first real challenge. Then Old Toll House is the next biggest challenge. Big Creek is the steepest part. Kaiser is the highest part, 9,200 top out. Then you have a little bit of a rolling through Tamarack, and then the Furnace, which is where a lot of people crack because even though it's downhill, you're riding into 107 degree temperature. So here's some stats from when I did it in 2018. I don't know. It was the ride of my life. Alrighty, so I have done this 2.5 times. I did this in 2012. I had started riding in 2011 and got here, got to the start line, looked down, and I was in my tennis shoes. It was like a nightmare. Literally, I was in tennis shoes. Had to jam home, get my shoes, come back, and I basically rode the whole thing by myself. Did like 13.5 hours. Came back in 2015 or 16, only rode half of it. I was meeting my wife up at the top for a romantic getaway. Pushed way too hard, ended up on like, it was like a Valentine's Day thing, late Valentine's Day thing for her, and then I pooped the bed at night. So instead of a romantic weekend, she was cleaning up poop because I just got like food poisoning and gnarly. Came back in 2018 and felt amazing. It was the ride of my life. I did 8:42. That's a very fast time. The course record's 8 flat. Can I, today, beat a younger, lighter, faster me? Back in 2018, I was a skeleton. You boys got some beef? A lot of climbing. There's a lot of climbing. So, better equipment, better pacing, better fueling, better mind, 30 extra pounds. So we jam over to the start, and the night before, my wife and my daughter and my son helped me pack all my bottles because basically we have like grab bags at the rest stops. Now you can't have any outside support, but I do have the ability to put all of my bottles and hydros and food at each one of the rest stops. That's going to be key to try to keep the stop time down as low as possible. Absolutely beautiful morning. Look, I love the heat. I know it's going to be at 107 degrees later, but we are going up to 9,200 feet. So it's kind of like we ride with the rising heat. It will sort of be around 70 degrees all the way to the top. And then it's the descent out of space and into just a wall of a furnace. That's gnarly, but I love not having to think about being cold at all. I love it. The bike of choice is the brand new CFR Ultimate. This thing is incredibly light. The saddle is just a sheet of carbon. Running a 1x setup, 52 in the front, 11, 52 in the rear, so plenty of gears. Now, this lead out in years past is really how the course record was set. The faster the lead out, the faster you get to the climbs. I mean, you can cut off a lot of time here. We did have a pretty big group, and it started to get a little bit spunky as we hit the rollers. Guys are starting to kind of jam off the front. Look, I was chilling. We have all day to climb and climb and climb. And so I didn't chase anything down. And I'm going to do this throughout the whole video. In 2018, our lead out was 23:14. This was 24:10. So already, right off the bat, minute down. Now, Wildcat is where I'm going to find out who's here to play. And I found a lot of people are here to play. And boy, does this extra weight hurt. You can see my power. You know, the guy right in front of me there in the white jersey, he's actually my Zwift teammate. Dude is super light. And I mean, he's doing like 250 watts. I'm doing almost 400, sometimes into 400. So this immediately was an eye opener to, holy smokes, just to stay with these boys, these climby boys, these light boys, I'm gonna have to put down some serious wattage. Now, to do that, to perform my best, I am going to have to consume close to 100 grams of carbs an hour. So I've got all my bottles planned out. By this point, I had one bottle at the start, and then I consumed 2 bottles. So right before the very top here, I've already been 300 grams of carbs.
Iris tried to turn them on too. She can't get them to work either.
I got it. What? All right, so we took a little gamble there, right, to stop at that first aid station. But that descent, I know that descent, the descent rips. So I felt like I can get back on pretty easy and not have to chase on a climb. So now we're topped off, and ideally I go all the way to Big Creek on these bottles.
So Wildcat. 2018, we did 16:37. This a minute slower. So we're 2 minutes down, heading into Old Toll House, which is a massive climb. Now, look, this course, it's nothing but climbing. It's beyond anything you've ever experienced. You know, this area is the most underrated riding in the world. No one wants to come to Fresno to ride. But dude, you ride out of Fresno and you can go to some of the most epic places ever. You go through all the different climates, temperature changes, the environment changes. It's absolutely amazing. So, I mean, dude, in some of these shots, you can see just how much bigger I am than everyone else. And I am trying to keep it friendly. I want everyone to be chill. Please don't attack me because I'm on the frickin' rivet. But with so much climbing in this one, you want to try to be as light as possible. You don't want to carry 10 pounds of water. So I'm really trying to balance that between proper fueling and weight. It's why I don't have a hydro on, like a hydro pack, because I don't need it until we start descending, because I can get water from the aid stations and be fine. Now, Old Toll House is really the main climb of this whole thing because it's super long. It's not very steep, but this is where you're gonna find out, do you have the legs? Are you good? A lot of people crack on this climb, and here I'm having to stand way more than I kind of wanted to. Feeling out the pace of these boys, they were absolutely putting me in the hurt. Now, if we flick back to 2018, I was at the front of the group, right? I was crushing, and this is kind of where it shattered most of the group. you can kind of go side by side here. Even though I'm heavier, dude, I kind of look like my pedal stroke is the same. You know, I don't know. I look good. I feel like both. But we were about 2 minutes slower this year than in years past. Once we got to the top, I mean, look at my power. I'm getting close to 400 watts as it got really, really steep there towards the top. And I needed to stay on their wheel because if I drop off their wheel now, like I have no chance, right? So it's kind of all in and hope that I can recover once we get over Old Tollhouse.
Yeah, boys. This climber, man, he's so light. He's killing us. Well, boys, it's getting rough. They are climbing quite fast.
To my surprise, I was able to make it with these three absolute hitters. One was like Russian or something, I don't know, from over there. Everyone thought he was a dick because he wasn't talking to anyone, but I guess he doesn't speak like great English. He's the dude on the canyon. So I kept like being like, hey, what's up? Oh, dude, you're riding strong. Hey, man, haven't seen you around. And he just like stared at me. And I'm like, okay. Anyways, he didn't speak English. So this dude right here in front of me, he's absolutely going to win this race. That's in my mind. So on this descent, which I know very, very well, I kind of wanted to push the pace a little bit. You know, I'm not trying to go solo at this point, but if I can do anything to get up the road to where I don't have to push the wattage that these boys are pushing, that'd be sick. So I kind of took not like any crazy risks, but the three I'm racing against, they've never been down this descent once. And it's a pretty tricky descent. I've been down it a million times. So I was like uncorking it. Such an awesome descent. So amazing. And we are heading into the main selector. This is where it is going to blow apart. And if you're going to win, this is where you're going to go. And in 2018, this on Big Creek is where I made my move and I rolled solo from Big Creek all the way to the finish.
Leg warm up before we get into Big Creek, which is a big test. And then Kaiser, that goes up to 9,200 feet. So that is, we've got the two big obstacles ahead of us. Get over that. Then we just got to battle the heat.
Now, I don't track calories to wear a shirt. I'm taking my shirt off, dude. It was a little bit tricky. My watch kept getting caught on the sleeve, but now it is sun's out, guns out, and my vibe at this moment was all time. Just the weather, like everything, how I was feeling. I was extremely optimistic at this point. I have been fueling quite well, but probably should have at this point taken more water than carbs. I feel at this point I was a little bit over carbed, but again, to put out the power, you need the energy, you need the carbs. So I'm a little bit over carbed at the moment. We come into the second rest stop of the day. I'm in and out as quick as possible. So far, 4 hours in, and I've consumed 500 grams of carbs. And the bottles I took both have 100 grams of carbs in them each. Yikes.
Absolute flying pit stop, dude. So we've stopped twice. One at WILDCAT, and then one right there, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Like, that's what I planned. I literally took my last sip as I rolled in. Perfect, dude, so good. Now, I was thinking about just going one bottle because of how steep this is, but I don't totally know where the next rest stop is gonna be, so we'll just rock two.
Now, Big Creek is absolutely the steepest part of this. So me being 30 pounds heavier, this is it. If I can stay with the group here, I've got a good chance, but this is where it's going to hurt the most. My Zwift teammate, he did go up the road. He skipped the rest stop. So it's me, the Russian bro, the guy from the Bay. We're all chasing. And this Russian dude was just seated and putting out power like nobody's business. And I have been pacing really well to this point, but it's just getting very, very steep. And we're starting to get up into elevation. Right now, we're about 5,000 to 6,000 feet up in the air. The power is stout for me. Just to stay on these guys' wheels, I'm having to put out so much. And, you know, look, I could completely explode into pieces if I'm not careful here. So I kind of had to let Russian dude go. And then it was just me and the Bay bro. And I'm just hoping, like, okay, can I find a second gear? Can I find a second wind? Compared to 2018, this is where I just left everyone. This is where I completely got away and was just feeling so amazing. And compared to 2018, I didn't attack these guys. I just rode away. I was like, why is everyone weak?
Well, poopy pants. I'm trying to stay within a box here so that I don't completely implode. Elevation is tricky. You know, going up to 9,000 feet, if you burn a match, you don't really get it back. So if you're like, oh, I'm just gonna stay on the wheel, I'm gonna dig deep, and then you'll just implode. And I mean, there's a lot of riding left. If I can be able to hold some decent power going down the mountain, maybe I can catch them. I just can't let them get too big of a gap. But man, these steep gradients, dude, very different than in 2018.
So the Russian dude, he's in second. He's very strong. He's about 2 minutes ahead of the guy from the Bay. And then he's about 2-3 minutes ahead of me. So I'm in fourth right now. Now, comparing our times on Big Creek, about a 3-minute difference. Slower, but like you can see on the power, I'm putting out more power and I'm going significantly slower. So right now, we're about 7 minutes, 30 seconds down on the total time. We crest over Big Creek, and then there's sort of like a flat rolly bit to the last main section to the Climb to Kaiser pass, which is the highest point. It goes up to 9,200 feet. Gnarly. Now, in 2018, when I hit Kaiser, I honestly thought I was going to have a heart attack. It was so strange. I was like, why am I putting out so much power? Why do I feel so good? I just didn't understand. I thought maybe I might die because like I was pushing my body so deep, but like I wasn't cracking. This year, not the case. Not the case. Now the skinniest, lightest guy, he actually broke his chain. So he was for sure going to win this. He was going to crush it. He's out. Broken chain. Bummer for him. So now we have been upgraded to third place. But look, the extra weight definitely adds more power. It's awesome. It looks good. But the amount of energy that I am having to put out just to exist is so much higher.
I don't have much more on the climbs, man. Like I'm kind of at the wall. So what I can hope for is to stay steady, not lose too much time, and try to whiz down the descents. Maybe catch them on the flats, who knows. Never give up. Never give up.
This is the biggest difference right here. About a 9-minute difference just on this one climb. So in 2018, 9 minutes faster. Like I said, I was flying up this freaking climb. I did more watts in 2018 and was super lighter. So obviously I'm going to go way faster. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that this was going to be difficult, but it's not over. I'm not giving up. Right now we are almost 6 hours into the ride, but we are cresting the top. We have basically made it over most of the climbing. Okay, so Mr. Russian dude, he comes across now in first, and he's absolutely crushing it. I don't think there's any way we're gonna catch him. Baybro just slightly behind him, and then there's me, who was at this point, because I fell way off, right? I mean, I lost 12 minutes on this climb alone.
Yeah, baby.
How's it?
It's rough.
I noticed a lot of people, they're turning the...
It is rough.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, we only
Is it a single front? Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm gonna grab that hydro back at Shaver.
Okay.
Yeah, no wonder.
Where are you now?
Oh, good. Good to go.
Waiting here. Sing for me sweet lullabies. Bright nights of never-lasting darksome days. Bright nights and wearing the stain you made on me. And I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for the bright nights to lead my way through the maze. All right, just after that little 10-minute descent, the legs are feeling way better. I actually feel like I can turn over some power. So that's good news, because I was kind of staring at a potential do not finish. It was gnarly there for a second, but we're all good. We're back in it. So now the last little bit of climbing here, Tamarack, I lost so much time compared to 2018. Now in 2018, I was leading. I was about to win the race, and so I went so deep. But even here now, I've done 16 more watts and went 8 minutes slower, which is just so crazy, right? So also conditions, you know, who knows, but I'm still kind of coming out of this crack. Like, I totally cracked on Kaiser. And so I'm starting to drink some water. I'm starting to feel a little better. I have one more rest stop, which is Shaver. It's all downhill from here. You know, look, the aid stations, the volunteers, they're phenomenal. They're amazing. My son's with me, my crew's with me. Everyone's got positive vibes. I definitely wish that I was in the lead at this point, but it is what it is. Let's regroup. Let's throw the hydro on and just try to send this downhill. Alrighty, everything has been going pretty much spot on to plan on where I'm stopping and what I'm getting. So I've brought in like 900 grams of carbs so far, and the rest of the ride is pretty much all downhill. So there's no need for like weight savings. So now I have the hydro on, okay? That's got about 100 grams of carbs in it. But then I have 2 bottles of just ice water because we're about to run into 110-degree weather. So I've got just 2 bottles that I can just dump on me. We also put the jersey back on because sun's out, guns out isn't great when it's that hot. Like, your skin bakes. And then also I can squirt water on my sleeves and keep me cool. So we should not have to stop anymore.
We should be able to go all the way home. I really wish I was winning, but you know, I did give it my best.
It was really strange after bringing in a lot of water how much better I was riding. And also, it's just turning out that I'm not good at elevation. Like you could see that in Bolivia and here, man, my power just started going through the roof. My mind through the roof. I mean, I was just ready to rip legs off. So I tried to catch back up as much as I could. Now I do great in the heat, no problem. It was 125 on like the road temperature, right, with the radiating heat. I would have said it felt like 85. I had no problem with this. I was rolling. And this is actually the only place where I took back time on 2018. So I went 5 minutes faster in 24 than I did in 2018, but also in 2018, I was winning by like minutes, so I kind of was worried that I was going to flat or anything. So I wasn't totally all in, I think, or I was just cracking in 2018. 2024, bro, I'm motoring. Like 300 watts, 22 to 25 miles an hour. It's unbelievable how good I'm feeling at hour 8 to 9. And I can see on the head unit, like, I'm gonna maybe make a sub 9 hours. So I am sprinting out of the saddle, sprinting for the line. Just missed it.
Damn it, dude. Sub 9 was so close.
We just missed that sub 9 cutoff, which was a little bit annoying, but in overall, more watts, more energy put out, 18 minutes slower. Now, a lot of that came from the Kaiser Pass climb and the Tamarack climb, but the big difference is how I felt afterwards. I felt totally fine, not delirious at all. I actually could have kept riding. I finished very strong, and I was really proud of that. Now, I just want to say huge thanks to the Fresno Cycling Club for putting on such an amazing event, and to the competitors who really gave me a run for my money. I appreciate you guys. Hope to see you out here next year.
I mean, I didn't better my time, but I honestly rode better. It's just that half of Big Creek and then Kaiser just freaking fell apart. But man, at the end, dude, I was like just holding 22 to 25 all the way. It was crazy.
Congratulations, Tyler.
Thank you.
Man, you're a...
Well, I wanted to win, so I mean, you know, but...
Woo!
Bubba's, come here. Thank you so much, dude. I love when you're a part of things. I know, like, I let you down, and your dad's a loser, but it was cool having you here. Good times, man. That's so annoying, though, 30 seconds. Like, sub 9's pretty cool. Cup 9:30, like, all good. Thank you so much, Drew. 9 hours, 30 seconds. I was good. I did 8:42 back in 2018.
So you started 40 seconds later.
All good. Dude, such a bummer for that dude who was gonna for sure win and then broke his chain.
He got back going.
He's in like 6.
Here's the other difference, though, is that I'm a way sturdier rider. So, like, if we clip to 2018.
I'm zoning out, dude. What am I even saying?
Bro, I was hallucinating. I was dying. I had no idea where I was. I mean, it was the ride of my life, like, so, whatever.
But right now, bro, I mean, I could ride more. I could ride more if I, you know, it's crazy. But then it's kind of a bummer. It's like, man, back then it was like I could dump the tank. I could empty the tank. Now with all the ultra stuff I've done, it's sort of like the hose nozzle is like tight. So even if you squeeze it as much as you want, it's just like, you know, it's just that mist setting. Like I want the jet setting, but I'm just out there misting fools. Sidebar here, I am starting this insane 1,800 mile self-supported ride from the Canada border to the Mexico border. I'm starting it in like a couple days. So you can follow along. I have a live tracker through Track Leaders, and I have built a whole web page where you can see all the routes, my updates. You can track me live. You can even donate if you wanted to. Like, it's not really something that I want to push too hard, but I am going to try to go for the fastest known time from border to border, fully unsupported. Should take me 8 to 9 days. It's going to be epic. So that's where I will be for the next 2 weeks. Check me out, follow me, text me. Yo.